Hi everybody, welcome to another installment of Wicked Awesome Wednesdays. Was asked recently about change and change management. What's it like to go through change? Here at DRB we've gone through a lot. I was actually just going through a set of goals that different folks on my team had a few years ago, and the things that have changed and the progress we've made. And we've really set ourselves up for a really great 2020, but it took a lot of change, and there'll be more change in 2020. So I want to talk about a few things that just make it easy, quick thoughts when you're taking an organization, taking a team, or even a person through change management. And really it's about dealing with three things. And just remember F cubed or the three F's when it comes to keeping track of change management. First one is the word FUD, F-U-D. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt is what that stands for. When you take anybody through change, somebody on the team or many individuals they're gonna feel fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the best thing you can do is hit them head on. Be direct, be straightforward, be kind, be considerate. But a lot of times as leaders, we're so focused on getting to the end that we don't take everybody with us. And you've really got to look at the individuals and look at the teams, look at the groups, and just take some time. And the larger the changes, the more time you need to spend communicating this, of dealing directly with what their fear, uncertainty, and doubt. If you talk to a couple people, or you just think through it in most circumstances, you can imagine the fear they might have, what uncertainty they have about their future. People care about their future, and what doubts they have, and that comes from unclarity and things like that. So just remember the word FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Put yourself in folks' shoes and think through that and be willing to talk about that. FUD is the first F. The next F is feelings. You've got to deal with feelings. A lot of times we get in the habit of saying, well, I know you feel that way, but that's wrong. Feelings aren't wrong. They may not always be logical. They may not line up with the facts that we know, but you got to be careful not to tell somebody their feelings are wrong. They feel what they feel, and you've got to let them deal with that. So the best thing, again, there is lots of communication. Talk to them, understand why they're feeling that way, or more importantly, don't say the feeling is wrong. State the fact that they have those feelings, but this is where we're going and why. Again, addressing a lot of communication about this is where we're going and why. Trying to address FUD as much as you can, and not so much trying to take all their feelings into consideration. Just don't downgrade those feelings. Don't let those folks, don't make people feel devalued, which is going to drive them right back to that FUD place we talked about earlier. So just let them, let their feelings be substantiated, that's all. And then the last thing is fuzzy. Clarity or lack of clarity is what concerns people the most, because a lot of times if we're not clear and people are going through change, they see it as deception, or they can feel like it's deception. It's one of those places where we might say feelings are wrong because I would never deceive you. You can't disqualify their feelings. It's just how they feel. Best thing that you can do is get rid of the fuzziness. It may not be the news they want to hear, but be direct about why we're going somewhere and where we're going there, and lots of communication. So again, just kind of a quick triple hit on dealing with the three F's, or F cubed, and that is deal with FUD, acknowledge feelings, and deal with fuzzy. As you do it, be positive. Remember, people are watching your facial expressions and how you're doing things, so be positive. And lastly, I think most people know this, over-communicate. I struggle with this, but if you don't feel like you're over-communicating, you may not be communicating enough, because it takes a lot of communication to deal with the FUD, the feelings, and the fuzzy. Have a great day.